10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Steam train. I was just practicing my memory, and you'll see why in a little bit. If this is your first time joining us, thanks for tuning in. I'm Mr. Dorian with New Minds, and I hope you guys are all doing well. If you've missed our previous lessons, or you're on our New Minds Facebook, you can check them out there on our very own domain, newminds.tv, where you can access all of these lessons entirely free. Without further ado, it's Friday, so we have a brain game, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, we are still going to continue and finish up our extremes this week, so we're going to use some extremes and talk about a brain game we can use to maybe break our own record. And here's what the games are. We have one about memorizing cards, we have one about memorizing colors, and then we're going to have our own game about memorizing whatever we want to memorize. And it's a pretty cool test, and I think you guys are going to like it. First, we have to talk about our first game. This is one if you have a deck of cards. You only need one, unless you get really, really good at it, you might need a second one. But here's how the game works. You have to memorize as many cards in order as you can. This is a really simple game, and you're able to test if you're correct every time. So for example, I'm going to look at it from the back side. I'm going to fan them out so I can see. I have a 9 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, 9 of spades, and then a king of spades. And then how you would test is all you're going to do is flip it and say it before you flip it. So we had a 9 of hearts, yes. 9 of diamonds, yes. I think we had a queen of hearts, right? It was queen of diamonds. So I would get it wrong, but that's okay. I'm going to try again. So I know it's hearts, diamonds, diamonds. And I can play again until I can see if I can memorize a lot of cards. You might not be very good at this, and that's okay. If you can get 3, that's a good start. If you can get 5, you're doing awesome. If you can get 10, you're doing incredible. Any more than that is amazing, but they're all good scores to get. So let's try again. I had the 9 of hearts, yes. 9 of diamonds, yes. And then I had the queen of diamonds, yes. I think it was a 7 of spades. 9 of spades. And then the next one was the king of spades, right? King of spades. So I got 4. It's important that I lay them down in the same order I picked them up, so I can flip over and start again and don't have to memorize a new set of numbers. This is the first memory game. Now this is actually a type of memory game that's used in a world record. How this record works is you have as much time as you want to memorize as many decks of cards as you can. The world record for this was set in 2007 by a man named Dave Farrow. He actually memorized 59 whole decks of cards. So not just 59 cards, because one deck has 52. He memorized almost 60 times as much as this. He memorized 3,068 cards, and it took him 14 hours to do it. Now, we might not spend that long. We do have some spare time, but this is a fun game to practice, and you can just keep getting better and better every round you try. So now I know it's the 9 of hearts, and now it's the 9 of diamonds, and now it is the queen of diamonds. And then we have the 9 of spades, and then we have the king of spades. Now I got the first 5. I've already improved from getting 2 cards right to getting 5 cards right. And this has been a very short time I've played this game. This is something that's fun. I've never been very good at memorizing cards. I'm good at memorizing other things. But it's fun to try it at least to see what you're good at and what you're not. And just experiment and play with it. The next card is an ace of hearts. Let's see if I can memorize these 6, then we'll move on to the next game. 9 of hearts. Queen of Diamonds. Make sure you say it before you flip it, so that way you make sure you don't cheat. And then it's a 9 of Spades, King of Spades, and then what was the next card? I think it was a heart. Was it an Ace of Hearts? Yeah, it was the Ace of Hearts. There we go. So I got the first 6 cards memorized. I didn't practice that. These are 6 cards. I completely shuffled it. If you ever want to try again and start from scratch, all you have to do is shuffle the cards. It doesn't take any new supplies. You don't have to make anything. And you already have a new game. So now the cards are 5 of Clubs, 4 of Diamonds, 9 of Hearts. So it's a familiar card, but some new ones. And it's a fun game to try and to see how many you can memorize. Maybe you compete with a family member. You both look at the cards, and then you see who can remember more correct. The cool thing is you both say it and then flip it, and you'll be able to compete and see just how far you get. But the next is another kind of memory. This is a shape and color memory, and you kind of remember numbers a little bit. But another type is just pure number memory, memorizing a number. The number a lot of people like to use for memorizing a really long number is pi. The reason is it's never ending, it's a repeating number, and it's fairly common. Most people know about it. If you don't know what pi is, all it is a measurement. If you have a circle, there's a diameter that goes across the middle of the circle. All you need to do to figure out the circumference or the outside of a circle is multiply this diameter by pi. It's almost 3 times the diameter and a little bit more. If you're rounding, some people just call it 3. Most math, they use it 3.14. But this is actually an infinitely precise number. There's not an exact measurement that's perfect, but we can keep going and finding a smaller version of this number just to see how close we can get to actually having pi. So this number doesn't end. Pretty recently, Pi Day just happened, March 14th, 314, which is the first digits of pi. And this is something I used to do all the time when I was in just starting high school, at the end of middle school. I really liked to memorize pi. At one point, I had 150 digits. This game, you do need someone to check and make sure you're correct. So I have this written down, and I'm going to hand this to my production manager. And she's going to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if I mess any up. But this is the first 30 digits. This is all I can do now. I used to be able to do way more. But the cool thing is you can look at the number, be like, okay, 3.141592655. And you can keep practicing and practicing it because the number's not going to change. And see how far you can get. I'm going to see if I can remember the first 30. I'm going to hand this off to her. Then we're going to talk about how far the record is. And the number is amazing. It blows my mind how big this number is. The amount of digits people are able to memorize. Ready? She's going to give me a thumbs down if I mess it up. Are you ready? Cool. 3.14159265389793238462643383279. That was 31 digits. So I can still remember that, but that's about where I stop. You guys can probably beat me. You have a lot more time on your hands. Thank you. And you also have more practice and more time, and you can always get better at it. Your memory is a skill. You can get really good at remembering numbers, remembering names, remembering colors. There's one more way I want to show you that you can make a memory game that's really simple. But first, let's talk about the pi digits world record. It was set in 2005 by someone from China named Lu Chu, and they were able to remember 67,890 digits of pi. It took them so long to recite it. It took them 24 hours and 4 seconds. So it took them 1 entire day and 4 extra seconds to say 67,890 digits of pi. This is a huge number, and I don't even know how they remembered it. But the cool thing is, it's incredible how well our memories can work if we practice and train them. It's a skill like anything else. If you're good at basketball, you can practice and get better at basketball. Same thing with soccer, and the same thing with your memory. It's something you can practice and get better at. I have one last brain game for you. If numbers aren't your thing and you like words or colors, I'll show you how you can make your own set of memory cards that you can memorize. I'm going to do mine with shapes. I'm going to use sticky notes because it's small paper and I can make many more things with less waste. If you have your scrap construction paper, this would be a good time to bring it out too. I'm actually going to use that instead. I'm also going to bring out my handy dandy scissors. And all you need to make these memory cards is first cut up some pieces that you can use as cards. I'm going to use this red. I'm just going to cut some rectangles. I'm just going to cut 6 for now, just to get the idea. You can always make more as you get better at the game. Now make sure whatever you write on your cards, you do it in pencil, color pencil, or in crayon. Something that won't bleed through. I'm going to use this very small pen. I'm not going to use a Sharpie for this one because it would bleed through and I'd be able to see it. But let's say I want to remember the order of shapes that are on here. Or maybe it's my friend's names and I repeat them. All you're going to do is on this one side of every card, write something you want to remember. You can repeat it, that's okay. The same thing with pi, there's only 9 digits, so they're all going to repeat a bunch. You can repeat shapes. So I'm going to draw a triangle, circle, square, triangle, another triangle, circle, square. This is really simple for now, but I'm going to shuffle them. Let me make sure this looks more like a square. You can always make more complicated shape, use names, use colors that you color in the crayon. I'm going to shuffle them up and look at them in the new order. And just like the card game, I'm going to try and memorize them. So I have triangle, square, square. Circle, circle, triangle, triangle. So triangle, square, square. Circle, circle, triangle, triangle. Triangle, square, square. Circle, circle, triangle, triangle. Now I'm going to make sure they're in the same order that I just memorized. Flip them down. Yeah, flip them down and see if I can remember them. So, triangle, square, yep, square, circle, 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 triangle, triangle. So I got that first try, so it's going to be a little easy. But the thing is, I made these cards so I can make an infinite number. Maybe I can memorize up to 100 shapes in a row. That'd be super awesome, and I can make the amount of cards that I need. I don't expect anybody on the first try to memorize a whole deck of cards, so if you just want to do a smaller version of this game, you can just make as many cards as you need. Be like, okay, I got 8. Now I can get to 10 or 20. If you were watching our reaction time lesson on our last brain games, that same link on humanbenchmark.com has some other awesome memory tests. Some of them are pattern tests, some of them are number memory, some of them are word memory, so if you've seen a word before, say so. If it's a new word, don't say so. And they're really cool tests to take. I'll post that link underneath this video after we have finished, but that is all I have for you guys today. It's a Friday, so we're keeping it nice and short. Thank you guys for tuning in with Real Inspired Learning with New Minds. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and keep practicing your passions until they become your talents. Maybe memory is something you really love. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day.